Overnight, the U.S. launched retaliatory strikes against an Iran-backed militia group based in Iraq. The strikes came in response to a Christmas Day drone attack on an Iraqi military base that injured 3 U.S. service members, including one who's in critical condition. For more on the tensions in the Middle East, let's bring in Raphael Cohen. He's the director of the Strategy and Doctrine Program with RAND Corporation's Project Air Force. Raphael, great to see you. And thanks for being here. There have been more than 100 strikes targeting U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria this year. We mentioned that earlier. So why is all this happening right now?
So first off, thanks for having me on. I think it's important to give a little bit of background here. The group that the United States struck, Hezbollah, has been attacking American forces ever since the invasion of Iraq. So it's for about 2 decades now. Now, as you mentioned, the number of attacks on American forces in the Middle East has surged since the October 7th Hamas attack against Israel and the start of the Israeli retaliation. And I think this is part of a broader effort, particularly by Iran, to pressure the United States from backing off of its to Israel, and as part of its grander ambitions inside the Middle East.
So the real question, and everyone's fear here, is could this lead to a direct conflict between the U.S. and Iran and expand this regional war much wider?
Yeah, so the Biden administration does not want to have a broader conflict with Iran, particularly now that they're going into an election year. That said, I think there are at least 4 possible ways that you could end up entering into a broader conflict with Iran, even though it's not necessarily in the United States' best interest, and I don't think it's actually in Iran's best interests either. First off, you had this attack against American forces by Hezbollah. They end up injuring 3 American service members, but you can easily imagine a future attack actually killing American service members and then prompting a even larger American response. Second, we have this ongoing proxy battle with another Iranian proxy, the Houthi rebels, against international maritime routes in the Red Sea. You can imagine how that, again, leads to escalation. Third, you have a potential escalation between Israel and Iran. Israel's just killed a senior IRGC leader in Syria as part of its effort to try to deter Iranian intervention along its northern border. So you can imagine how that escalates. And then finally, we have the simmering tension between the Iranian nuclear program, and the IAEA just announced earlier today that Iran was pushing forward on some of its restraints on uranium production. And so you can imagine how that sort of prompts escalation, even again, if it's not in the United States' best interest, and probably not in Iran's best interest either.
Yeah, they may not want it, but lots of opportunities, sadly, for that. All right, I got to leave it there. Raphael Cohen, thanks so much.
Thank you for having me on.